I'm not feeling very well.
Are you not?
No, I'm not feeling fine. I've got this problem, I have to rhyme like all the time.
Oh dear. That's rather queer.
It seems like fun. It is at first, but rhyming all the time, it's just the worst.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I'm starting to feel like I'm in some sort of dream.
It's like this horrible rhyming disease where poetry comes out like a sneeze.
It's happening to me.
A poetry sneeze, please. That sounds a bit silly. It's the silliest way if you're going to be ill, E. I know what's happening to me. It must be. Yes, it is. This is what's happening to me. It's silly emergency number 3. For silly emergency number 3, this is what we have to do. Listen to me. We've got rhymitis. We've got to beat it. We got to take it to the max. Rhyme and rhyme. We can't relax. We'll have to cook something that rhymes super well.
With bunting.
That's a good idea. Okay, so what have we got? Well, I was going to make a strudel, so you'll have to dress up as a poodle.
What?
It's the only way.
That's the only way. We have to be silly. It's silly every day.
Strudel poodle time, guys. Let's go. Okay, so these are ingredients for our strudel made by a poodle. We have got some Filo pastry. When we cook it, it'll be tasty. We have got some apples chopped up, which will be nice to stop. Here we've got some sugar that's brown. That'll be nice when you're gulping it down. Here we've got cinnamon in 2 spoons. I can't wait to eat that soon. Here's some butter. You'll hear me mutter. It's for spreading on the top. And last of all, we have a lime. I like to use these all the time. Wow, what transformation!
Poodle for strudel.
Amazing. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to pick some apples. We're going to choose any apples that you like, that you've got. I've gone for a Granny Smith. And we're going to peel it and chop it up into chunks about this big. Whoop. Okay, and then we're going to get 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Pop that in with our apples.
Yummy.
Very nice. And we're going to get some soft golden brown sugar. And I'm going to have to look, I can't remember how much that is. I think it's 100 grams, but I'm just going to double check. I'm going to add that in. And then, last thing, is half a lemon or half a lime. We're going to use a lime today, squeezed, and mix all of that together.
You have something to mix it with.
I do, let's use this wooden spoon.
Half a lime, all of it.
Half a lime.
Squeezing time. Half a lime, it's squeezing time. Making strudel for me tea. So has it got to be fully covered, Rebecca?
That's great. Just going to mix it up so it's all sweet and sticky and cinnamony and deliciousy, and then leave it to one side.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to get to the pastry bit. First off, we have got 95 grams of butter, which we need to be nice and warm. So we're going to put it in the microwave for a little bathe until it's nice and gloopy. About 30 seconds. Right, strudel poodle.
Poodle poodle.
I think you'll find we have a baking tray fully lined with baking parchment. So what we're going to do is we've got this pastry which is going to be super tasty. It's called Filo pastry, and it's paper thin. And we're going to now begin to lay it on our baking sheet in the middle, nice and neat. And then
She's still rhyming.
I've got it bad.
Keep going.
It's the worst disease I've ever had. So now what we're going to do, if you can see this batter looks a bit like goo, is we're going to take a brush and paint it on each layer of our pastry, just for fun. Ooh. Okay. Little chef, this is a good job for you. So keep on painting.
It's the best thing to do.
And we're going to keep going till we've painted all of one, and then we're going to take another one and pile it right on top of this.
So we get a tasty dish.
With more butter, it's such bliss.
Nom, 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 nom.
Make sure you cover all of it. Every last little bit. I've buttered my second one, as you can see. And now I'm on to number 3. I'm going to keep going till I get to 6. And then my filling inside I'm going to fix. So here comes buttering number 3. Come on, do it along with me.
Yummy.
Butter.
Number 3 complete.
Now I've got more pastry than I need. And the problem with this is it gets super dry. So I'm going to, any spare, I'm going to wrap up in cling film or in the packaging it came in, and keep it in the fridge so I can use it for something else. Or if I'm feeling really hungry, I could make 2 poodle strudels.
Yes, please. This poodle is waiting and ready for the strudel.
Number 4. Gonna keep going, keep going, keep going. All this butter is going to make your pastry super, super, super tasty. If you don't have a paintbrush at home, don't fear. You can use your hand or anything else that's near.
Okay, so this poodle is going to fix up this strudel. So we've done 6 layers of the Filo pastry. It's going to be rather tasty. We're going to get your apples in your mixture, popping it in a line at the top. Oh, don't do it so messy like that. You can probably do it a little bit better. Oh, my rhyming's starting to go. I think I'm getting better because I'm rhyming better with better. Ooh. Is this right, Rebecca?
That looks great.
I can't wait to feed it to all our mates. Okay, don't forget to get all that deliciousness, the sugar and the cinnamon. Right, okay, this is the tricky bit. We're going to flip it around, and then we're going to pick up our pastry and we're going to roll it rather tasty. Ooh. Okay, if some falls out, don't you worry. We can stuff it back in. There's no hurry. So folding up each edge, squeezing it together. Ooh, look at that. And we're gonna do a bit of a wash with butter. So you should have a little bit of butter left, and you're gonna butter it up. Buttercup. Wow. Not forgetting to get the sides. This is going to be delicious for my insides. Okay, we are nearly done. It's just got to go in the oven. Right, little chefs, before I put my poodle strudel in the oven, I'm going to pop a few holes in it to let all that air out while it cooks. You can use a knife, you could use a fork, it's up to you. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven at gas mark 5, and then the beauty will come alive. And we're going to put it in there for 45 minutes.
So these are our ingredients for a broth made by a sloth with noodles made by a poodle, and we've adapted a ramen recipe for this. So we have got, for our spices, we are going to make our own 5-spice mix. So we have got some star anise, we've got some cinnamon bark and powder, we've got some whole cloves, we've got some peppercorns, and we've got some cumin seeds as well. We've got a stock. We're just going to use a vegetable stock cube. You can choose a chicken stock cube. You can make your own. We've got some fresh ginger, some garlic. We've got some vegetables to stir fry. We've gone for baby sweet corn, carrots and broccoli. We've got some soy sauce, some Worcester sauce, some sesame oil, some wheat noodles, and some nori or seaweed. So we're going to start off by making our own 5-spice. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds into just a dry frying pan. I've got no oil in there. I'm just going to toast the spices a little bit. That's why they're going in. And it just brings out the flavour a little bit more. So I've got my 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds. I've got a couple of star anise. I've got some whole cloves, I've got some peppercorns, I've got a little bit of cinnamon bark, and I'm going to add my teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I'm just going to cook that in a dry pan for a couple of minutes, and the spices should go slightly darker. Okay, we're gonna make our broth. So I've just got a normal saucepan over a medium heat, and I'm going to start off by adding my stock. So I've used a stock cube, I've used a vegetable stock cube, and I've added 800 mils of water. And that's because I'm going to be adding some other ingredients, and I don't want it to get too salty. But you might want to, depending on what stock you're using, you might want to add a bit more. Okay, I've popped that all in, and then I'm going to add some fresh ginger. It says a thumb-sized piece of ginger, so we've got some nice fat thumbs on here. So, and you're gonna sieve your broth at the end. You're just gonna use the liquidy bit. So we're just gonna put it in whole like that, and it goes. And we're gonna do the same with our garlic. So we've got some garlic here. We've got 3 cloves of garlic. And what we've done is we've just cut them into quarters. And again, this is just to give your broth flavour. So we're not going to cut them into teeny tiny bits, because we're going to sieve that when we're done. We're going to pop our spices that we toasted in as well into the mix. You can see that cinnamon's got a nice dark colour. And we're going to get some soy sauce. I've got reduced salt here, but you can use whatever you prefer. Okay. And we're going to add 5 dessert spoons, I think, of soy sauce. I'm going to add 2, and I'm going to double check my recipe, because it sounds like a lot, but it might be right. I'm going to give that a mix as it's going. Yeah, 5 dessert spoons, fair enough. That's why we didn't add too much stock. So this is number 3. 4, 5, okay. And now I've got Worcester sauce that I'm using in this recipe, but that does have fish in if you read the label. So if you're vegetarian, you might want to use something else. Yeast extract works really well as well in a dish like this. So, but I'm gonna use Worcester sauce today. Just a teaspoon. If you were adding yeast extract, you could go for a dessert spoon maybe. In it all goes. It's looking very exciting. Okay. And then you're just going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. And meanwhile, we're going to go chop up some veg.
All right then, little chef. So, as your broth is cooking away on the stove, you're going to prepare your veg. So you can do that in any way you like. So I'm going to use broccoli today, carrots, baby sweet corn, and a few other things. For the broccoli, I'm just going to rip it and pull it off. See, little chunks like this. So you can do that with that, or if you want to, get your big person to chop it up into knives. So if you want to make it a little bit smaller to cook it quicker, chop it into smaller sections. Then, my trick with the sloth broth for my carrots is to get a peeler, and just peel strips off. So you have little bits, or if you've got a better peeler than that, you'll get thicker bits. Or alternatively, maybe use a bigger knife. You can cut thin strips like that, or if you like it chunky, cut it up chunky. It's totally up to you. These are just ideas for now. Baby corn, again, you could rip it in half again, or you could just cut it down the middle like that. So that's that. There are your veggies. I love a bit of spring onion, so I chop that and put it on afterwards. So I'd always peel off the top layer, give it a wash first, and then chop off the little nubbin at the end, pop that to one side, and I like to just cut them into rings. And then I would use that as a garnish at the end with some of the nice green bit, or you can cook it during. It's totally up to you. Then we've got a bit of ginger, so you could grate a little bit of that or chop a little bit of that up and either put that in with your mix or put it on at the end as a little garnish. We've also got a bit of sesame oil, so you can cook your vegetables in that if you'd like to first. So it's totally up to you now. You can go away and stir fry this, then put it into the broth mix, or you can put it in all together.
We've gone back to our broth that's been simmering away while we were prepping our vegetables, and you'll remember we had all that, we've got that giant bit of ginger, we've got all our spices in, so I'm going to sieve it now. So I'm going to sieve it into another saucepan, or I'm going to sieve it into a measuring jug. Lovely. So I've just got a nice clear broth. What we're going to do is we're going to cook our vegetables and our noodles all together in the broth. So I'm going to put it back in the pan. But you can cook your noodles separately if you like. It takes about, you bring a pan of water to the boil and add the noodles for about 4 minutes. Or what we're going to do is we're going to cook the veg, cook the noodles all in together for about 4 minutes. We added our noodles and our veg all into our sloth broth, and as you can see, the noodles have softened and cooked down. It takes about 4 minutes, and the veg is all lovely and soft. So now we're ready to pour it in a bowl and add some garnishes.
Wow, this sloth broth looks beautiful.
Really nice.
Delicious.
You might notice that we've added an egg. That's quite traditional for a ramen.
And some extra garnish on top, so there's some of the green bits from a spring onion. I'm going crazy.
We've even added a little bit of sprinkled up seaweed as well.
But you can choose to put whatever you like on there, really. I think those are noodles fit for a poodle.
Very nice.
Rebecca.
And I think we seem to have stopped rhyming. I think we might have done it. Let's see. I think if our strudel turns out really well,
then I think we're good.
Wow.
Amazing.
Strudel looks so good.
And the broth, so delicious.
I think that's our third silly emergency. It said the curse would be lifted. Should we check on our banana of silliness? See how we're going.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Let's get the sillyometer 3000 as well. Make sure it's a scientific reading, not just judging by the.
Rebecca, look at the banana of silliness.
It's looking so recovered. It's before yellow. It's got a green tinge,
and it's growing. It's growing out of its tub. We're gonna have to get a bigger tub.
I think. It's definitely cured, but should we check with our sillyometer 3000? Yeah. Okay.
Oh my!
Definitely cured.
Sorted.
Amazing.
Done. We are done.
Amazing little chefs.
Yes.
3 silly emergencies, a reading challenge.
How did we manage it, really, Rebecca?
6 different recipes. It's been amazing.
Unbelievable. And well done, you, at home, for doing it along with us.
And I hope your bananas of silliness at home are looking as healthy and good as ours.
Long may they be healthy and delicious.